Good morning, students. Welcome back to Web Technologies class. The last class already have explained the frames and how to create a frames, how to give a link between the frames using a target attribute, and what are nested frames and what are iframes, that I have explained in the last class. In today's class, I'll explain you about forms. Okay, what are forms? See, actually, before going into a forms in HTML, general forms I will explain. Example, when you want to apply something in any public websites, or if you want to do registration in any website, or then what you will do, they will give you one form, and you will fill information in that form, and you will give back that form to that authority. Similarly, when you want to fill anything, or when you want to give any information in online, or if you want to submit your data to any server in a particular organization using a online mode, then similarly here also that particular website or particular organization will display the form, and where will fill the information, and that information is submitted to a server. Okay, that is the forms concept in a web technology. For this simple example I will give. See, before simple example, Gmail and Yahoo Mail, before creating your mail, they will give you one application form, registration form actually, that is where you will fill your information. What is your name, what is your age, what is your date of birth, and what is your nickname. Like that, it will give some fields where you will enter the information, and after entering the information, you will click on register. Then your name is registered with particular Yahoo Mail or Gmail. Okay, that is nothing but a form only, but where that form is displayed in the browser window. So if anything is displayed in the browser window, what it means, it is a part of HTML page. Okay, so now you have to design one application form. Okay, one application form using HTML language. And for this, I'll give you one more example. See, when you are opening your Facebook, then what it will ask you to give your username and password. And when you will give a correct username and password, then only you will get your Facebook information, complete information you will get, right? So that is nothing but that page is designed by using a HTML language only. Okay, now today we will learn how to design that application forms using a HTML language. Okay, so your simple definition you have: forms are a mechanism that allows the user to type information into fields. Okay, what are the forms? Form is a one procedure, one mechanism through which the user will enter the information, and that information is submitted to a web server. Okay, that in the form you will get some fields, and you will get some boxes, rectangular boxes. There will enter the information, and that information is submitted to a server. And actually, what is the use of this form? This forms provides a interactivity between a user and the server. Okay, using the forms only, the user can communicate with the server. The user can submit something to a server. The user can give something to a server, and when the server want to give some information to the user, that information is also displayed in the form of a form only. Okay, so forms provides interactivity between a user and the server. Using a forms only, the user will enter the information, and that information will be submitted to a server. So like a paper on the form, same you can design a form on a web page, and that web page can communicate with the server. Okay, but what is the main purpose of the forms here? Using a forms, we can send some information to a server, like when you visit any website, or when you visit any social website, it will ask you to give a feedback and a rating. Means there what you are giving some information. So how you can give information? By using a forms, and that information can be submitted to a server. here you can see how forms can work. See, when you are designing a form or when you are giving a form, as I already said, that form data is submitted to a server. Okay. So, but you don't know the server, where is the server also you don't know. Just using a one application form, you are filling that information and you are clicking on that register or submit button, and that information is submitted to a server. So, where the user is entering, what user is viewing, that is called as the front end, and where the information is storing, okay, where the information is processing, that is called as the back end. So, okay. So, a web form has two parts, one is the front end and the second one is the back end. So, front end part handles the presentation, it is displaying a form and it is taking a content from a user, that is handled by the front end. And what is the use of the back end? Back end will collect the information from a user, means back end will collect the data from a front end and that is processed in the back end. Okay, and for back end, for processing that information also we have a different types of languages like PHP, ASP and Perl programming, like that. Here you can see the form. Username and password. The user will enter the username and password and the user will click on the submit button. That information is submitted to a server. Okay. So, in the server there is a database which stores the information given by the user using a front end. So, here we have a few steps which has to be followed by the user when you want to submit some information to a server. See here, a visitor visits a web page. Here's example, suppose I am a visitor, I will visit a web page. What web page? The web page which contains the form. Example, if you want to open a Facebook information, then you will open the form, you will open the web page which has the Facebook form, which consists of this username and password. That is nothing but the form only. Okay. Now, the browser will display the HTML forms. Who will display your HTML forms? The browser will display the HTML forms. After displaying the HTML forms, the user will fill the information. User will fill the information, okay, and that information will be submitted to a server, okay, and the browser sends that submitted data to a web server. A form process script running in the web server will process the data. Form processing script is nothing but the CJS script, like that, which will process the data, means it will take the data from the presentation area and it will store in the database, that is processed by the script. In most of the server pages will use a CJS script. Okay. Now, a response page is sent back to the browser, the HTML forms created. Okay, understood? So, here we have different steps. What the user has to see actually? First, the user has to open a web page which contains a HTML form. Next, the browser will display the HTML form, the user will enter the information. After entering the information, the user will submit that information and that data is submitted to a web server. And when the data, who will submit the data? The browser will submit data to the web server, and whatever information is taken by the browser, that is processed by the script inside the web server. Okay. Now, here the last point. The HTML forms are created by using a actually after the response page is sent back to the browser, after that, actually it is the next paragraph, the HTML forms are created, you underline that point, the HTML forms are created by using a form opening and closing tag. Like previously I have explained, if you want to create a table, how will you create? You will open the table opening tag and you will close the table tag. So, whatever tags, whatever rows, example, if you want to create a 10 rows, 20 rows also, that should be part of this table opening and closing. Means all the remaining tags should be between a form table opening and closing. Similarly, if you want to create a HTML form, that HTML form structure starts with form opening tag and that ends with form closing tag. Okay, and all the remaining tags will come inside this form opening and closing. Okay, and here the main and the most important tag which helps the user to create a HTML forms is input tag. Okay, that we'll discuss later. So here, what is the main concept here? Using HTML forms. Actually, why we are creating HTML form? In order to take information from a user, and that information is submitted to a server. So if you want to create a form, what tags we need? We need a form opening tag and form closing tag. Between a form opening and closing, whatever content is there, no, that is submitted to a server. Here I have given syntax. Once you go through the syntax, form is a tag. Action. See, actually, action, method are two attributes. Okay, action, method, two are attributes. What is the use of these attributes here? Action means, example, when you will click on the submit button, that data should be submitted to a server, as I already said. So when that means when the user clicking on the submit button, to which server that data should be submitted, that information is given by the action attribute. Here action equals to http gmail.com I have given. So when you click on the submit button, whatever information you have filled inside the form, that is submitted to a Gmail server. Now you see, method equals to get. Method equals means when the data is submitted from a form to a server, form to a database, how that data should be submitted. Here method is nothing but the different methods, get method, post method, different methods we have, and the different method works differently, and it means these methods are processed data differently. That we will discuss later. So how data should be sent? See, action attribute means where the data should be sent, and method equals to how data should be sent. Okay, so form one more attribute you can add, a name also you can add. So here only two attributes I have added. One is the action and the second one is the method. Action means when you click on the submit button, where the data should be submitted, that is the action button. And when user clicks on the submit, how that data should be submitted to a server is decided by using a method. Okay, for example, I said you to give 100 rupees to so and so person, example some x. So to whom you are giving x, but how you are going, by bus, by auto or by cycle, that is nothing but the method. Action equals to that x. Okay. So here we have a different attributes already, as already said. Form, in the syntax I have given form, action equals to http gmail.com I have given. So here that attribute explanation I am giving here. Action, what is the action attribute here? Action attribute specifies what HTML file should be called when the submit button is processed. Means when the user clicks on the submit button, which file will come and collect your data, and to which server it will send the data. That information is given by the action attribute. Okay, see here you can see the definition. The action attribute specifies what program HTML file is to be called and when the submit button is processed. Usually a CGI program is listed. It is a script program which is called when the user clicks on the submit button, and this CGI script is an intermediary between your front end and your back end. So this will take data from a client and it will submit that data to the server. Okay, so actually always when you use the action attribute, action equals to will give the location of the server. No? So that location of the server here is nothing but the URL. And what is the use of this action attribute? Action attribute to inform the browser what it inform. So when the user clicks on the submit button, to which server the data should be submitted, to which server the data should be submitted, that information is given to a browser. Okay, once you see the definition. So here I have given syntax form action. What is the use of the action attribute? Action attribute specifies the name of the server to which server you are submitting a data. So here what is the name of the server? Gmail.com. This server we are sending a data, and in that server which file, to which file we are sending, index.html we are sending. Okay. Next you see one more attribute, method attribute. As already said, method decides how the data should be submitted. Field by field data should be submitted, or all the fields together submitted to a server. How the data should be submitted, that is decided by using a method attribute. Okay. So the method attribute, already in the previous syntax I have given method equals to get. So sometimes method equals to post also you can give. Okay. Understood? What is the use of the method attribute? Method attribute send when the user clicks on the submit button, how that data should be submitted. Action means what? Where. Method means what? How. How data should be submitted. How many possible values are there for this method? There are two attributes. One is a get and the second one is a post. Get method, see actually get is a one method. What is the use of this method is, any public website is there like google.com, such websites are there. Whatever information is there, that information is publicly available to everyone. So you are submitting anything to the public websites, or when you are viewing anything in the public websites, okay, there you don't want security. In that cases where there will use the method equals to get. So get method actually what it will do is, whatever information you will enter in the form, that will be visible in the address bar of the browser window. Okay. So using a get method, whatever information you are entering, that is visible on the browser window. Okay. That I will show you in the practical. When I will explain the practical of this, no, at that time I will explain what is the get. Actually it is a default method, you no need to separately show this, but means here actually when we'll use this in a public methods where you don't want the security. Whatever information you are entering into the form, no, that information is visible in the address bar. Okay, you see the syntax. Now you see the post method. So actually in a post method where you need a more and more security, there we'll use the post method. In the post method, what happened is, whatever information you are entering, that information is not visible. Means your information is very secure. It is not visible in the address bar. So whatever information you are entering, no, that is stored in a separate file, and that file is sent to the server. Okay, understood? So here whatever information you are entering, that is not visible on the browser window, that information is stored in a separate place or separate file, and that information is sent to a server. Okay, so here you can see the server, the post values assigned to the method attribute provides another way of submitting input values from a form to a web server. So here using this method also we are sending data from form to a web server. But in the post method, the server specifies the action attribute of the form is contacted after the communication has been established. When the server is in enable state, at that time the data is submitted to a server. Okay, so this is a post method. So here you can see the syntax. Method equals to post, you can give a get also. Now you see the syntax of the form. First HTML, next head, next title. I think you all know this. Now come to the body tag. Okay, inside the body tag, as already said, form structure starts with form opening tag and it ends with form closing tag. And whatever fields are there, no, that fields are written between a form opening and closing. Okay, so your form elements have given, no, there you can give the form elements. So what form elements you can give, that now we will learn. Form elements are nothing but example, if you want to give your name, password, Okay, so what information you are giving, no, that is called as a form. Actually, whatever labels, whatever fields you will use to create a username and password, that will come under form elements. Okay, so these form elements are indicated, created by the input tag. Okay, so form elements are nothing but the elements which helps the user to enter the data, and that form elements are created by using a input tag. Okay, and this input tag is at least two attributes, type and name, that we'll discuss. Type, what type of so here in order to create a form, we discussed two tags. One is a form tag and the second one is the input tag. Okay, what is the use of the input tag? Input tag is used to create form elements. Means input means what? Actually whatever input you are taking from a user, and that is created by using a input tag. So when you are using a input tag, the user must use at least two attributes. One is the type and the second one is the name. Type attribute is nothing but what type of input you are collecting from a user, what type of input the user is entering, whether the user is entering a text, the user is entering a password, or the user is giving a drop down, or what type of text area. What depends on the user, depends on the information the user is giving. Based on that you can select type. Okay, what type of information the user is submitting, the what type of information the user is entering, that is presented by using a type attribute. That information you can give by using a type attribute. Okay, so type attribute defines various types of input. See example, if you are uploading a file, that is a file input. If you are uploading an image, that is an image, that is an input, means their input is a image. And if you are entering only the name, in that case input type is only the text. Okay, so like that here in form we have a different types of input. So you need to give that information, what type of input the user is giving. Okay, so type defines various types of input fields recognized in the current HTML specification, and that input type can be a text, radio buttons, checkboxes, password or submit. Okay, so your type is nothing but what type of input the user is entering. You can see the syntax, input type. Okay, input type equals to text, means what type of input the user should enter, only the text. And what is the name of that text, whatever information the user is entering, that information is identified with the name attribute. Okay, that is a name you can give any name, but whatever text, whatever input the user has given, that is identified with the given name. Now the name attribute indicates the name of the element. See example, username, and I have given one text box. So if you have given text box, that text box, whatever information the user has entered in that text box, that is identified with the name attribute. Okay, see here, input type equals to text field, name equals to ABC. You can give any name. Now HTML forms, when you are creating an HTML form contains the following elements. Okay, in HTML form you can give following types of elements. First one is a text input element, means using these elements you can ask the user to enter only the text. And the second one is the buttons. Example, clicking on the button, clicking on submit button, clicking on reset button, that will come under the buttons. And the third one is a selection list. Selection lists are nothing but a drop down list. Using a drop down list means will give a more options, from that the user will select one option. That is nothing but the selection list. Now here we will discuss one by one. The first one is a text field. Text field, I will give you one example. Enter student name. After that you will get one rectangular box. So when you have given label as enter the student name, what information you will give? You will give text information, you will enter your name. So such type of input is called as a input type equals to text field. Okay, text input box is used to cut and edit a single piece of text by the user. Using a text field, the user can enter one line of text. Next, this element can take other element, means here you can add more information. See, as I already said, text field means in that particular box the user can enter only the text. Additional information, if you want to give a like a minimum, the user should enter these many characters, maximum the user should enter these many characters, that you can give by using a attributes. See here, input type equals to text, means the use in that box the user should enter only the text. And what is the name of that text field? F name I have given. You can give any name. Now size equals to 10. Okay, size equals to 10 means what is the size of that box? Okay, what is the size of that box? Like a 10. See, actually here it is missed. Size it should be 100. Okay, or else you give the max length as a 5, because size is nothing but the size of the box, and maximum length means the how many characters the user should enter, maximum number of characters the user should enter. Example, classroom size is 100, means the classroom 60 students can sit, that is the size of the classroom. But in that class, for every class there is only 50 students, maximum 50 students, that is the maximum length. So whenever you are creating a field, box size you should give, means actually how many possible characters the user can enter, that is the size. But how much character means how many characters you are restricting the user to enter, that is the maximum length. Okay, so this information you can give. So here either you change the size equals to 100, or you change the maximum length is a 5. Okay, instead of 50 you can give a 5. So here whatever attributes I have used in an input tag. See, one point you try to remember, input tag if you have given means where the user should enter. Input, you are taking input from a user, who will give the input, the user will give the input. That is indicated by using a input tag. Now size, size means it specifies the length of the text box, total size of the length box. As I already said, classroom size 60 student can sit, but only the principal sir is giving a permission to sit only 50 students, that is the maximum length. Now value, value specifies default information, means before you entered any information, if you want to display some default information, that you can give by using a value attribute. Next, max length. Max length means it specifies the maximum length of the text, means how many maximum characters the user can enter, that is called as a max length. Okay, now you can see here I have given label as enter your name. Okay, enter your name, and whatever rectangular box is there, no, so when one graphical user interface is there, no, one graphical box is there, no, that is created by using a input tag. So wherever you write the input tag, there you will get that boxes where the user will enter the information. Okay, so here instead of giving a plain text, what we are giving a rectangular boxes, so that it is called as a graphical user interface. Instead of the plain text, the user will, instead of the plain environment, the user will enter the text in some graphical user interfaces, that is called as a form element. So here what label have given, enter your name. So when you will get that label, the user will enter the name, no, but where the user will enter the name, in that box. Okay, so see, this type of input fields are, this box is called as an input field. This type of input fields are created by using a input tag. Okay, and here enter your name is a text, but instead of that text, if you want to collect any password or checkboxes from the user, their input type will change. So when you change the input type, whatever input you are collecting from a user, that will also change. Okay, so that practically I will explain. Okay, in the next video I will send that practical part.